welcome back to the studio, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Throwback Thursday. So, give me a second here. Let me get this kind of refreshed. Let me get the video kind of like up um, on my laptop here so I can see what's happening, make sure everything's all lined up and we got nothing glitchy and all that. So let me get that set up. Okay, so let me move this up just a little bit. And I want to make sure that we're kind of level and we are straight. I can tell that we're not because my thing wants to slide off. And let's move this. See, I could do this all before I hit live. Unfortunately, what happens, even though in the very beginning I set my orientation to horizontal, it still makes me want to flip um, my phone. And yeah, so I still have to, even though I lined it all up, I'm still having to line it up yet after the fact. So it looks pretty good. So we're going to kind of keep it there. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Throwback Thursday. So for this Throwback Thursday, I am using a standalone stamp set, which is actually still available in our online store. It was, I believe this one was an online exclusive item that came, well, wait a minute, honestly, nope, I think this was actually in the holiday mini catalog. It's called Woodland Scenery. And as you can see, you got a bunch of little images here that you can kind of build a scene with. It is standalone, so there's no set of dies, there's no punch that coordinate with it. Um, and you also see that there are no greetings in this either. So what I have decided to use with it for the greetings, at least for one of my cards, I am bringing in the banner sayings actual. I'm bringing in the whole bundle. So it consists of a stamp set that this is, and of course this is in our new packaging that has all these mixed font greetings in it, and it actually coordinates with the three banner punch. Again, this is fairly new. I believe this came out in our, ooh, I don't know if I want to say January, but maybe January or the November online exclusive items that had come out. So these two, I do have these linked in the description as a bundle. Of course, these are still available, so they're not retired. With the Woodland Scenery stamp set, I will make mention of this. It is listed in the online store as a last chance item. So that means that it's retiring. So once the stamp set sells out, then it's then listed as discontinued and it's retired and it's gone for good. So with this stamp set, the regular price of this here in the US was $17, and right now it is marked down at $15.30. It is not showing that it is on low inventory, so it's still available. So if you like the type of stamp sets where you can do a little bit of scene building, this is a really nice set. So you got some nice trees here. You got a cabin. You have a deer and a bear, a little sled, a little pile of wood, what you can use for snowflakes or stars. And then you have the smoke that can come from your chimney on here. So the two cards that I'm doing are pretty simple, easy cards. What's nice is a photopolymer stamp set. So with that, you're able to see exactly, and I see that I'm kind of focusing in and out, and that's probably because I'm too close to the tabletop here. So I'm going to pull that up a little bit. Okay, so my first card. Let me bring in stuff for that. So what's nice about this set that you can, well, you can make some really nice, simple, quick Christmas cards with it. But the ones that I am doing, I wouldn't say per se that they would be Christmas. I would say they could be, well, this card that we're going to do here, this is going to kind of like be a thank you card, but you can leave off a greeting or you can change the greeting to be whatever you want. The second card that I go to do, it doesn't have any greeting on it, but it does have like that winter card type of feel. So you can make it for like a birthday, a thank you, pretty much any occasion really. Really super cute and really quick and easy to put together. Okay, so as I folded my card base measures 8.5 by 5.5 and it's scored at 4 1/4. Then I have a piece of old olive cardstock. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. I have a piece of designer series paper that measures 5 by 3 3/4. And this designer series paper, this I believe is online exclusive. This is called the Weekend Adventures Designer Series paper. This is still a paper that is available. It's not on the last chance list. Again, it's 12 by 12. The colors that are in this paper, you have basic beige, basic black, Cajun craze, calypso coral, early espresso, misty moonlight, mossy meadow, old olive, pecan pie, and very vanilla. So you have some really nice, kind of like outdoorsy, rustic looking designs on this paper. So this pattern, you have kind of like your Cajun craze, and that could pass as early espresso or even black. And then you have like a black and very vanilla striped on that piece. You do get like 4 pieces of the same pattern here. There are 12 sheets, so there's 3 different patterns, or 6 if you look at both sides. This is the one we're using with the old olive and the trees on there. And on the other side, you have these little itty bitty tiny acorns. And I did use this pattern of paper, I think, when I may have used, I think, the Fluffy Squirrel bundle. And that would have been like a few months ago during the fall. And then you have kind of like really this outdoorsy type of pattern. And then on the other side, you got the misty moonlight with your little white splatters on there. So those are the patterns that are in the paper. And again, this paper, it is available. It's an online exclusive. I believe the price of our designer series paper is, if it's not specialty, is $12.50. So let me bring that up really quick. The paper, yeah, it's $12.50. It, again, it's not on the last chance list or anything, so it's still available. And what I like about it, it's very rustic like, and it's great if you want to make some masculine cards, or just, outdoorsy looking cards or projects. Okay, so that designer series paper again measures 5 by 3 3/4. Then I have a piece of early espresso. Now, before I mention what the dimensions are of this piece, what I did is I took a piece of very vanilla, and then I had used the textured notes dies. So I had used this pattern right here. So you can see each one kind of like has a different, well, I think these two have the same, kind of like have a different pattern on them. So this is the one that I use for this. And so when it came to the piece of early espresso, this is going to be kind of like a matte for my very vanilla. So the size of this early espresso piece is 3 7/8 by 2 7/16. And then I have a scrap strip of Very Vanilla. I'm going to stamp my greeting on here, and then I'm also going to use that 3-banner punch to then punch it out. All right, so let me kind of put that aside. Let me bring in the stamps that I'm going to use. So this is basically, we're going to build a scene with this. So we want our cabin. And then we want our, there's 2 different tree patterns. This one has the 3 trees in it. I want the little smoke and then the deer from this. And all of this is going to be stamped in one color of ink. And that is going to be Early Espresso. So let me pull that out. Let's see, what else do I need? I need the stamps. Oh, I do got the stamps. Wow. Okay, let me just put these on here. Let's see the smoke. And then we'll go with bigger blocks for these images. We got our trees. Okay, so let me take my Stampin' Scrub. Let me kind of spray some Stampin' Mist on it so that way I can clean my stamps off as we go. All right, let me put that aside. All right, so now with this being a photopolymer stamp set, I do want my images to stamp really nice. Since photopolymer stamps, they're not like the red rubber where it has that foam cushion on it. So to get a nice stamped image, I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat or any piece of like foam. So like even that inexpensive sheets of foam that you can get in the craft stores, that will work as well. It gives kind of like a little bit of that cushion when you go to stamp your images. Okay, so I am going to start off with my set of trees. So I'm going to ink this up. And again, we're just using the one color of ink. And I am going to stamp this. I want to make sure that I'm kind of straight here. I'm going to stamp this over to the upper left-hand corner here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my cabin. I'll ink that up. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp that like right over here. Okay, and then let me bring in the trees again, and I also want to bring in a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to be stamping off a little bit off the edge here. So let me ink this up again, and then I'm going to stamp this. Make sure that I'm straight here. And these are going to go right over here. Okay, and then we're going to take our smoke here, and we'll have that coming out of the chimney like so. And then the deer, we'll ink that up, and then we'll place that deer right down here like so. So a really quick and easy scene builder type of set. All right, let me then go and pull out my greeting. So out of the banner sayings, I'm going to use the greeting. So you got this big packaging here, and this is all that's in there. It's just this little set. I can't thank you enough. And let me get a block for that. And let's bring in our very vanilla strip. And I'll ink this up. And I'll stamp that right in the middle. Okay. We'll close up our ink. And then I'm going to bring in my 3 banner punch. So you have 3 different banners. You have one that you have the flagged end on one side and the other it's flat. This one has the flagged ends on either side, and then this one has a flat side and then it has more like an arrow on this right side. So I'm going to use this one here in the middle. No, actually I'm not using that one. I am going to be using this one where it has the flagged end on the one side and it's flat on the other. So I'm going to put my piece in here so it's not as, it's just shy of the width of this punch. So I'm trying to line this up as straight as I can. I mean, this was just a scrap piece. It would work much better if the piece was a little bit wider, but this is going to work because it punched it out pretty good. Okay, so let me bring in my Stampin' Scrub. Let me quickly get these stamps clean. They do have a lot of ink on them, and I don't want that ink to get on any of my cardstock or on me. So just clean these really quick. And then our green. Make sure that this is clean. All right, so now let's assemble our card. So I'm going to take this piece here, that our very vanilla piece. I'm going to add some adhesive on the back of this. This is this one refill that I have in here that I don't know what's up with it, but I will be happy when I am done using it because it's been a little fussy at times. All right. We're going to adhere this right to our early espresso piece, like so. Okay, and then we're going to take our designer series paper. We're going to add this to our old olive layer. Usually with the seal, you don't have to press hard at all with this, but for some reason, this one just being fussy. Now I've got to get the adhesive off my fingers. Get it off. Okay. All right. And we'll center that like so. Okay. Now on this piece, we are going to bring in the early espresso and old olive linen thread pack. I believe this was part of the Gathering Together suite that was an online exclusive item. And these are still available. They're not on the last chance list. So I'm also going to bring in my Scotch tape. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm also going to bring in my reverse locking tweezers. These are part of the embossing additions kit. They're going to act as like a third hand. So what I want to do, I want to take my linen thread and I want to wrap it I'll wrap it around kind of like 3 times here. And I'm going to trim this down so I can tie this. Like so. All right. So now, here's going to be the fun part. Tying a bow while you're filming. All right, so I'm going to take this. It's quite comical, actually, when you're trying to do this on film. And, okay, why are you so loose? You don't want this really loose. You want it fairly tight. Okay, so let's put that under like so. All right, so now I'm going to take my tweezers and place that right there just to kind of hold it all together. And then I will knot it. Okay, now I can move this out of the way. All right, and then I'm going to tie a bow. So now I'm going to make these loops a little bit smaller. I do want to move this down a little bit to the side because we're going to place this piece, we're going to pop that up right here in the middle. So let me get my dimensionals for this. And add some on here. Okay, and then I'm going to place this right. I'm going to try and get this lined up in the middle. Like so. I think that looks good. Let's slide this over just a little bit. Okay, make sure that's straight. I think that looks good. All right, and then I'm going to make my loops on my bow a little bit smaller. Okay. All right, make that a little bit bigger. All right, and then I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to trim these down a little bit. All right, then I'm going to take this piece and I think I'm going to use, let's see, what do I want to use? Let's use this. All right, let's see if this is going to behave and work. All right, and then we'll add this to our card front. Just kind of center that. Okay, and then our little greeting piece, we're going to add a couple of dimensionals to the back of this. And then we'll place this right down here in this bottom right hand corner like so. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of bling to this as well. Didn't need the tape for that. Okay, so for this one I am going to use the traditional sparkling sequins. These were part of the Traditions of Christmas suite. Honestly, I don't even know if these are still available. Let me take a very quick peek. I know that when we first got these, it didn't take long before they, um, what do you call, when they went on back order. As a matter of fact, with these sequins, they are on the last chance list. They were $8 a package. Right now, they are marked down to $7.20. It is saying that it is currently unavailable. But let me take one quick peek because usually when it says currently unavailable, that means that it is coming back. But let me take a quick peek at our inventory status report to see what it says. Actually, with these, they must have placed another order for these before we got towards the end of the catalog. So these are currently available, but they are coming back in stock. It's saying that they will be back in stock the week of the 19th. So sometime next week, they should be back in stock. So very pretty. You have real red, um, Old Olive, Pool Party, and Gold. It can pass for Balmy Blue. This can be like Granny Apple Green. So it will work with a lot of your reds and greens. So for this one, I'm going to use the green ones and get my take your pick tool. And in these sequins, you do get 3 different sizes. So let me take one of my larger ones and we'll place that down there. And a medium one. And what's nice about these, I mean, this gives you your bling, but at the same time, they are very, very flat. So you're not going to need anything extra, to protect your card and your envelope when it goes through the postal machine. So there is my first card. So very simple. Now, being that it is a very dark card base, inside, I would put a 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece of very vanilla, and you can stamp what kind of greeting you want in there, or you can leave it blank and write in whatever it is that you would like to put in there. So there is my first card. Again, this card can easily be a masculine card as well. So very easy and easy to mass produce as well. All right, so my second card. So this one, we're going to use a few more of the images. Okay, and then there's some things that I did stamp and cut out ahead of time, and I'll show you what those are going to be. So for my card base, I have a piece of basic white thick that measures 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of Pool Party cardstock that measures 5 1/2 by 3 1/4. And ahead of time, I embossed it using the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. This is an embossing folder that is available in our current annual catalog, and you can see it's just a very nice texture for your cardstock. Then, out of some scrap basic white, I had die cut 3 squares using the Stylish Shapes set of dies. These two are in our annual catalog. Put that aside, and let me bring my thing back up. And so that way I can see what's going on. Okay, and then out of with Poppy Parade ink, there is a stamp that does a little sled, and then this door, it's actually I stamped the house in one color, and then I stamped it again using Poppy Parade, and then I just cut out that door. So I wanted a different colored door for my house. So we're gonna stamp some scenes on these little pieces. Okay, so I'm gonna start by folding and burnishing my card base. Okay, we'll set that aside. And then on my pool party piece, I want to add some more texture to this. So on either side, on both the right and the left side, I'm going to tear towards me, and I'm not worried about tearing it straight. You could also do this with the Pool Party two-tone cardstock. Emboss it where the raised part is on the darker side. You can take a sanding block, sand it in some places, and it'll show the white. And if you tear it on the edges, you'll also have that white along the edge as well. So a couple different things that you can end up doing for this part. But for this, I just embossed a piece of Pool Party cardstock. All right. So then I am going to take, and I should have grabbed more. Hold on one second. I needed to bring in more tear and tape. This one, I don't even know if this is this. I think this is the Stampin' Up one. I had bought a bunch off of Amazon, so I don't know if this is the Amazon one or if this is the Stampin' Up one. But tear and tape, because I need something really sticky to hold down the ribbon that I'm going to be using. So I am going to go about the middle here. And I'm going to run this right up the center. I think I'm pretty close to the center. Okay, kind of press that down. And kind of tear it right there at the end. Okay. And I'll remove this paper backing. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the fluffy white trim. And this, I believe, this was part of the North Pole delivery suite. And I believe this one is also on the last chance. Yes, so this was regularly $9. It's now marked down to $7.20. It is currently not on low inventory. So with this, to kind of use it to create a bow, I don't know if it's good for tying a bow, because one side you do have like this the fluffiness on it, but then on the other side you have kind of like this on it. So this would be great if you were just kind of like laying it down on your card base. So I'm going to take a piece of this and I'm going to just stick it right there in my adhesive. You do need something a little bit stronger to hold this down. Just make sure we're straight here. Okay, and then let me get my scissors. And I'm going to trim. And this will fray. Okay. And where's my scissor cap? All right. And it will, as if you don't have it like pinned to itself, you can see that it does like to curl up. So let's get that pin back on there. Okay. All right, so then we're going to take this piece and we're going to glue this down to our card base. So I'm going to bring in my liquid glue for this part. And let's bring that in. The glue that I have in that bottle is that Tombow Mono multi-purpose glue that we sell in our catalog. I just like to put it in a fine tip glue bottle. I bought a package, I think of like 10 of them out on Amazon. The thing with this glue is that it has a latex in it, so you don't need a lot of glue to hold any of your paper or your cardstock down. So it sticks pretty well. Okay. So we have that stuck down. Now I'm going to set this aside because now we're going to do some stamping. And let me close up my glue. All right, so I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. And for this, the images that I am going to go with, I'm going to go with this cabin. I'm going to go with these 3 trees here. The smokestack, I don't need that one. Again, ahead of time, I did stamp the sled in the Poppy Parade. And then I did stamp this house image again, just focusing more on the door. And then I fussy cut that out. So I have those trees. I have that. I want the individual tree. Okay, and then there are the little like snowflakes or the little stars, and then there's the bear. So I want that. Okay, so let me get some blocks for these. So I got my bear. I got that. Actually, let me get my smaller block for this one. All right. So then for this one, I am going to bring in Early Espresso, Pool Party, the Poppy Parade, but I'm not going to be using it because, again, I already stamped those ahead of time. And then Pecan Pie. So I'm going to start off with this piece here. I'm going to bring in Pecan Pie. And I'm going to stamp ink up the set of 3 trees. And I'm going to stamp that. Actually, I need the paper. I stamp off a little bit. All right, so I'm going to stamp these right here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my little snowflakes and my pool party. And I'm going to randomly stamp these around. We'll do one more in here. Okay, so we'll set that aside. We're going to stamp those little snowflakes on all of our squares. Okay, so then for this one, I'm going to take this little sled and I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. And we're going to add a little bit onto our sled. Whoops, don't need that much glue. I'm going to spread some of this glue around. Okay, and then my little sled is going to go right here, kind of like on the bottom right hand corner of my square, like so. Okay, so there is our first little square. And then the second one, we're going to come in and use pecan pie. And we're going to ink up this cabin. Okay, and then we'll stamp that right in the middle, like so. Okay, and then we'll bring in our snowflakes again. I need that again. So pool party. And we'll stamp a few of these. Stamp these over here. Okay, and then I'll close this up. And then let's bring in our little door. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue right here on the door. And then I'm going to use the putty end of my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to pick this door up and it's going to fit it right in there. So I had cut it out right along the door edge. And of course I did put a little too much glue, so now I got some glue oozing out on the side a little bit. I think it also picked up a little bit of that pecan pie ink, but see, now we got that pop of red with the door. Okay, so that's our second little square. We'll set that aside. And then on my third one, I am going to take the individual tree, ink that up in pecan pie ink. And then that one, I'm going to stamp over here on the left-hand side, like so. And then I want to get the bear. And we're going to stamp him in early espresso. And then we'll stamp him right over here, like so. And then let's bring in our little snowflakes again. Let me close up the glue. We don't need this anymore. All right, pool party. And we'll add a few of these. And I'll add another one right down there. Okay, so we got all our stamping done. Let me quickly clean these stamps because we do have a lot of stamps out. Get them kind of like out of the way, and then all we have to do is assemble our card and add a little bit of bling to it, And we can call this card done. So pretty simple cards. You can easily mass produce these. You can do like all your die cutting first and then do all your stamping. What's nice is it's a photopolymer stamp set, so you don't have to stamp ahead of time and then die cut. You can die cut your pieces and you can see exactly where you're going to put your stamped image, your inked up image, that is. All right, so let me put that aside and we'll get this out of the way. Let's bring in our card. Now for this, I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals. And let's see. This one's got our edge pieces, so we're going to save that for like the back of our cards. Let me see if I got another sheet in here. I do. Okay. So I'm going to take 4 each, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to add them on the sides here. I'm not going to put them in the middle because it's going to sit over that fluffy white trim, and there is a little bit of height to that. Okay. And let's make sure that I'm putting, and then, well, yeah, there's only one way you can put these on. Okay, so I am going to start with the one with the sled. And I'm going to add that down here to the bottom. And again, I'm just kind of lining it up over the top of that fluffy trim. Okay, and then my bear is going to be at the top. So I'm going to do my top and bottom first. So then that way my middle piece, I can center it in between the two. So let me bring this down a little bit and kind of eyeball it. Okay, that looks good. And then we got our center piece. Okay. All right, and then our little house, we're going to go right here in the middle like so. Okay, so then we're going to bring in these traditional sparkling sequins again. This time we're going to bring in that red. So I like the pop of the red with these colors. These colors work together very well. Again, you have Pool Party, you have Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, and Poppy Parade. I'm just going to add one of each of the sizes on these, like so. And there we go. There is my second card. So pretty simple, pretty easy to stamp. Again, being that it's photopolymer, you can see exactly where you're stamping it. And again, the Woodland Scenery stamp set just makes a really nice set to use if you want to kind of like build a scene on your card. So here's our second one. Again, a lot of the basic white with the Early Espresso, Pecan Pie, Pool Party, and then that pop of red with the Poppy Parade. And then the first card, more earthy, Early Espresso card base with Old Olive and the Designer Series paper, and then stamping my greeting and my images on Very Vanilla. And again, The greetings come from Banner Sayings, and Banner Sayings does bundle with, oh, that's sharp, the three banner punch. So again, these just came out, I'm thinking it was the January online exclusive release. So it is fairly new. So very versatile, for punching out little greetings. So if you like the projects that I had made for you today, please give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you also like these projects, you like this video, and I have lots and lots of other videos that are out there. I've been posting videos for quite a while. So there's a whole variety of stuff out there. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. Also, hit the notification bell. It will let you know whenever I post a video or when I go live. As far as going live, I will be going live tomorrow night. So what's Friday? Friday, the 16th. And I will be using the Lovely Blossoms suite of product. I believe these are in the new January to April mini catalog. If you are not currently working, or if you're not working with another demonstrator, and you're here in the US and you would like a paper copy of not only the current new January to April mini catalog, but also we do have an annual catalog still going strong. If you would like either or both of those catalogs, my email address is in the description of the video. Please send me an email with your full name and mailing address and let me know if you want one of the catalogs or if you want both of them, and I'll be more than happy to mail that out to you. Also, tomorrow night when I go live, I'll be going live at 6 p.m. Usually it would be 7, but I'm trying out January, see how things go. I just think that 6 p.m. may be the new time going forward for my Friday night lives. Also, when I do my Friday night lives, at the very end, I do a drawing, and you can win one of, or you can, yeah, you can win one of the cards that I made that night. Again, let's see what else is there. There is bonus days that is currently going on. Bonus days, what that is. So from January 6th through February 2nd, for every $50 that you spend, now again, this is here in the United States, for every $50 that you spend, you will earn a $5 coupon that you will then be able to redeem from February 3rd through the 28th. So if, for example, you place an order, that's $150, and that is after you've added like any Stampin' Rewards and before the tax and shipping is added. You will receive 3 coupon codes. So so in order to get the coupon codes, you do need to have a valid email address. You do need to have a profile or an account created in the Stampin' Up website. The one thing that I will mention, it's not quite tied to the bonus days, but if you're creating your account, there are two different opt-ins that I do want to make mention to you because I think it kind of gets overlooked. Now, our Stampin' Rewards program, it changed a few months ago. So for the longest amount of time, whenever you placed a $150 order or more, you received like 10% in Stampin' Rewards that you can use to get more product in that particular order. So they did away with that program, and now they have it where you earn Stampin' Rewards starting at $20. You receive 10%. And then whatever you earn after that order is placed, you can redeem those Stampin' Rewards on your very next order. You can use all of them, or you can, you can save them for a bigger order, or you can use what you want as far as your Stampin' Rewards go. But the thing is that when you create your profile or your account, there are going to be two boxes that are opt-ins. One of them is for contact, and I can understand people not wanting to click on that one because they don't want to get bombarded with any emails or anything like that. I will let you know that I do not send like any correspondence, any newsletters or anything from the Stampin' Up site. I do have a monthly newsletter. There is a link for it in the description with constant contact. When you click on that link, you're adding your first and last name and your email address if you want to receive my newsletter. My newsletter typically goes out the first Tuesday of the month. It's letting you know of all of the things that Stampin' Up has going on, what I may have going on, the new kits that have come out for that month, and it also has my video schedule for the month, so you can see what products it is that I'll be using for my Throwback Thursdays and Friday Night Lives. So all of that is there. So again, when you click on to opt in for the contact, what that does, if you want to receive one of the new catalogs when they come out, Stampin' Up does have a program that they do for the demonstrators where we can have them mail out in bulk the catalogs to our customers. So if you have that opt-in for contact checked, then I will be able to add you to that list to have Stampin' Up directly mail you the catalog. It does, when you're sending out a bunch of catalogs, it does help in regards to postage. I do save quite a bit of money when I do it that way. So if you would like to receive a new catalog from me when it's about to come out, please check on that one. So then that way I can have them send it out to you. The other one is to opt in for Stampin' Rewards. You do need to click on that. I have had a couple of customers place an order with me for the first time, and unfortunately, they did not click on that opt in for Stampin' Rewards, and they placed their orders and they ended up missing out on their Stampin' Rewards. I want you to, receive those rewards. So if you're creating a profile or say you already have, please click on that little box there for opting in for the Stampin' Rewards. I have, put in a request to Stampin' Up that, you know, can you just have it where it's automatic, because there's a lot of people so far, I mean, in my case, where they didn't click on it and they probably didn't know, and then they missed out on the Stampin' Rewards that they would have earned for that order that they had placed. So again, with bonus days, you do earn a $5 coupon. They email after you place your order. They email to you the alphanumeric coupon code. Again, if you place a $150 order, you will get one email that will have 3 different codes in it. There's no limit to how many coupon codes you can earn during this period or in one particular order. So again, you can earn from January 6th through February 2nd, and then come February 3rd through the 28th, you can then redeem them. You can redeem all of them in one order, or you can split them up if you're going to do more than one order. So that is what's currently going on. We also have product of the month. So usually at this time, Stampin' Up! Would have celebrations, and celebration was again, for like every $50 or $100 that you spent, you got to choose a free item out of like this mini celebration brochure. Well, they've done away with that. Instead, they have brought out product of the month. So each month there's going to be a new product. The first product that we had, this started in December, and it was the True Blue Florals Designer Series paper. Um, when you spend $75, and that is after you've applied Stampin' Rewards and before the tax and shipping is added. There is a box that's up at the top of the screen there, where you're doing your order, where your cart is, and it lets you know when you're coming close to achieving on getting the product of the month. Now, when you have reached that, there is a little box on there that you do have to click on to redeem it. When you click on it, you'll see the paper and you can add it to your cart. So the product of the month is $5. So this was December. It's still available. It's only limited to one per person. So if you have not gotten this paper yet, you can get this. And again, once these items are sold out, they're sold out. And these items will never appear like in the online exclusives or in a catalog. So it's while supplies last. So this was for December. And then for January, they came out with the Fabulous Sayings stamp set. So you have these different greetings in some mixed fonts. So this stamp set is our product of the month for January. And again, it's limited to one per person. So that is product of the month. Also, coming up next week, Stampin' Up! Is going to do a virtual card retreat. Last year, they did do one for scrapbooking. I will tell you that I did have a lot of Stampin' Rewards, and I did use it to apply to getting this retreat. It's going to make you get all the supplies to make 15 cards, and this is kind of like what you're getting here. You're getting envelopes, you're getting a whole pack of basic white cardstock, you're getting some two-tone cardstock. It's all one-sided because on the other side of it, it does have like a cutting diagram. You got some tags, you got some flip flaps. There is a bundle here that I'm guessing they did say it was going to be in a future publication, so I'm thinking possibly the new annual catalog that comes out in a few, well, basically a few months. And then there's an exclusive stamp set that is for the kit itself. The price of this here in the US is $165. And again, if you have any Stampin' Rewards, you can apply that towards this. Even coupon codes, if you put this in your cart, when it's time to redeem those coupon codes, you could apply that as well. Um, Again, it's 15 different cards. A lot of these are fun fold cards. And again, I did purchase this, and I just picked it up today. So it does have quite a bit to it. So this is going to happen January 22nd to the 23rd. It'll go from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. Mountain Time. So that's quite a few hours. If you cannot make it to watch it while it's live, this is going to be in a private Facebook group, and you will have access to watch the replay on it for as long as it's out there. Again, being this is like on a Thursday and a Friday, yeah, that's during the time frame where, well, it would be 3 o'clock here. Yeah, I'm kind of working at that point. So, but yeah, this is going to definitely be something that I'm going to kind of take my time going through it, and I'm definitely going to be going back and rewatching it. The item number for this is 170023, and here in the US, it does cost $165. I will also tell you when I ordered this, I also ordered a couple of other things. The box for the virtual card retreat is going to ship separately. So they evidently have all this product already in the box. And when you order it, they basically slap the shipping label on it, and then that's mailed out separately from anything else that you had ordered as well. Um, Paper Pumpkin, the subscription period for February just opened up, and it's called Celebrate Spring, and this is going to coordinate with the Easter Joy Sweet Collection that's in our holiday mini, not the holiday, in our January to April mini catalog. And then there are coordinating dies that go with it, but I don't have that pulled out. I'll announce like all this stuff again come tomorrow night when I go to do my Friday Night Live. So with that, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. And again, 6 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night, um, I'll be here, and I can't remember the name again. It's lovely, 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 lovely. Lovely Blossom Suite. This is actually an online exclusive item that I think that came out in November. So that's what I'm going to be featuring tomorrow night. So I hope that you'll be able to join us. So until then, everybody, thank you so much for stopping by, and have a blessed one. Bye bye.